There's this old but kind of famous phrase that says different religions are nothing more than different paths up the same mountain. And this idea might sound nice on the surface, but as far as I can tell, it isn't really based on anything real. The truth is that whilst there might be some superficial similarities between different faiths, ultimately there are some pretty important differences that most people never bother to understand or talk about. But what I want you to know is that Christian faith is a completely different animal altogether, and stands totally alone in the paths up the mountain analogy. Because it's the only path which doesn't start at the bottom and lead to the top. Instead, it's the path that starts at the top and leads down to the bottom. And instead of us being the ones who have to find a way to climb it, God is the one walking down the path from the top to the bottom to come and find us. And this is a fundamental difference between Christian faith and every single other religious worldview on the planet. It's why I wouldn't even call Christianity a religion to start with. Because religion is people saying, do this, do that, keep the rules, the traditions and the rituals, and if you fail, well then try harder and do better. In other words, climb the religious mountain. And if you aren't strong enough or disciplined enough to make it, well then that's on you. Christian faith, on the other hand, is God saying you'll never make it up the mountain alone. And I won't leave you stranded at the bottom, so I'm coming down to get you. Religion says the path of righteousness is a mountain you need to climb. Christianity says God comes down to meet you in your mess and weakness. And doesn't that make the most sense of the world we live in? People are always saying to me, if God was real, surely he'd just come down here. Well, actually, that's kind of a good point. And actually, it's the Christian story. He did come down here, and he left quite the impression in the process. The whole world has changed as a result of the life of Jesus. And the whole reason he came in the first place was his love for you. Surely if God exists, he'd be like that. The world right now is full of pressure. Pressure to earn, to be enough, to leave your mark on the world, to conform to what society deems successful people should look like, pressure to fit in. Part of the joy of following Jesus is resting in the knowledge that it's not about you. It's not about what you're bringing to the table. The pressure is off with Jesus. Because it's not about you. It's all about him and what he has done for you. Listen to me, having a right relationship with God and being confident of your place in heaven is not about what you can do. It's not about climbing a religious mountain. It's about Jesus and what he has done for you on the cross.